All right, guys, welcome back. So, yeah, we were doing a showcase of the Antstream retro game streaming service beta tonight, and, well, it's a beta, so it broke. Yes, indeed. We didn't get too far into it. So, we're doing an emergency retro pivot. So, I'm actually doing a one-off special indie showcase here. So, we're not on the Shed channels or anything like that. This is actually just my normal stream, but this is a game I wanted to put in to an indie showcase, actually. And, oh, excuse me a moment. I am just going to turn off the achievement tracker. Here we go. So, yeah, I actually found out about this game about a week or two ago, actually, from the Get Indie Gaming YouTube channel, who, by the way, if you're not subscribed to that, you should be if you're interested in indie games. He does incredible work. And this is a game called Descenders. It is on Steam and Xbox Game Pass right now. So this is the Xbox version, which you will notice very clearly once it gets going here. This game came out of nowhere for me. I didn't know anything about it until I heard about it from Get Indie Gaming. It is super cool. It's a multiplayer. It's multiplayer in the sense that other people can join your sessions. It kind of is like drop-in multiplayer, not unlike a lot of open world games. And what this is it's an extreme mountain biking game that's also kind of a roguelite. I'm not kidding. It's way cool. So it has randomly generated levels, and you can join sessions with other players, or other players can join against you. And you progress through different environments, and when you run out of lives in your run, that's it, you're done. And what you're doing is you're also doing tricks and stunts and trying to do special, like going fast and doing special, stunts and things like that to earn score. I forget what they call it. I think it's not renown. It's I forget what it is anyway. But it's basically a score, a persistent score. So you see, you can do things like that. Also, you can wipe out in hilarious ways, and yeah, it's something I did not expect. It's hard as nails, as you would expect a roguelike to be. But it's a downhill biking game with a sort of drop-in, drop-out multiplayer component. I played about maybe an hour and a half of it so far, and I've really been enjoying it. I may pick it up again, though, on PC, because the Xbox version, as you're probably seeing here, kind of runs like crap. It's a Unity game, and as usual, the Unity engine is not optimized and doesn't like consoles. So this game it targets 30 frames a second, but it regularly drops below that. Also, this is on an Xbox One X. It runs at 1080p at this frame rate on a One X. A game that can run Red Dead Redemption 2 at 4K 30 frames a second. So, it gives you an idea. It's not very well optimized. It also has some pretty brutally long loading times. So it's both techno. The problem with Unity is that Unity is not well optimized out of the box like Unreal is. To really optimize a Unity game well, especially for the consoles, requires a lot of work that most indie devs who license Unity just don't have the experience to do. That's really what it is. The problem is that it's very poorly optimized, especially for consoles to start with, whereas engines like Unreal are much better optimized to start with. That is what I understand it to be. Because the problem with Unity is, though, it's on, I forget what version it's on now. It's like 6, I think. But Unity was originally an engine designed for web and mobile. It was never made to do PC and console games originally. It only started to do that later when people started using it more. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, this game is on Game Pass, so and I think it's not expensive even if you don't have Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, it's free, so it's worth giving a shot. And to be honest, I have gotten used to the frame rate. But a game like this really would benefit from a higher frame rate, and especially one that doesn't stutter like this game does. And yeah, to run like this on an Xbox One X, yeah, that's not great. So anyway, this is just the open world practice area that you can go around. Oh yeah, by the way, they have an area in it called the Shed, which is where you can apply all the different, so you unlock different items, cosmetic items that you can get. So it is an actual shed. But it is called the Shed, which I approve. I highly approve of. There is leaderboards that you can do. They also have what's called the sponsorship office, which is you'll see this when there are tracks you can do that are tracks owned by certain sponsors, and if you do enough of them, you can get stuff. So what you can do is you can do a career session, what's called a career plus, which is harder. There's free ride, there's a daily challenge, and there's also a casual lobby for just messing about with friends. But the cool thing is, so there's 4 main areas, right? You go through each of the different areas by completing them, but each area has what's called a boss jump in it, which is a jump that's extremely hard. If you complete that 3 times, then you get to shortcut to the next area. So I'm going to show you how this works. So every track is procedurally generated, but you can see they're all graded on how steep they are, how many curves they have, and how many stunts they have. But they are randomly generated. And as you can see there, you have a bonus objective. So what happens is you have lives in this, and a life is basically taken whenever you wipe out. If you complete the bonus objective on the track, you get another life. That's how it works. So you see here, it gives you a sort of a little tour of the track. So this track is more about just straight racing and less about stunts, though there are some here. So you can go over a jump clean if you want. So it's all risk reward, right? So you can go over a jump clean if you want, which rewards less points, but which is what you can use to buy items or to earn items or to do other things like that. Or when you go over a jump, you can press modifier keys to do different stunts in the air, which of course gives you a bigger risk of wiping out, but gets you a lot more score. And you see here, other people are in the game competing on this same track. There's no collision. So if I hit that guy, I won't go through him. So you see, you can use the 2 thumbsticks, one turns, and by using the right stick in concert, you get a more aggressive slide turn, and you see slides build your score. You can also up your multiplier by keeping a combo going long enough. You're going to probably be familiar with these mechanics. So I did a jump there. So by pulling down and pressing up on the right stick as you go into these jumps, you are basically loading your jump. So you'll get a higher jump if you load it correctly, which is necessary to pull off the really big jumps or the really big stunts. And then when you're in the air, if you hold down left bumper and use the sticks, you will get your guy to do different things. Like that, for example. And just like in a skateboarding game, every stunt has a weird name. So you can choose to either just take a jump very plainly like I did there, or you can choose to actually go around a stunt if you want. So if you look at it and you're like, I'm not going to be able to pull this off and I don't want to lose a life, you can choose to do that. You see here, you can save full replays as well, which is kind of nice. I've never actually done this. But let's just do that and see what it does. Game also has this really cool drum and bass soundtrack, and it actually also lists what the artist is on the loading screens, so you can look them up. That didn't seem to actually save, but I don't know. So you see here, once you've completed it, it shows what you have to do. So you can pick the way you progress through the levels. The way I get to the next area is, you see that one over there with the skull on it? So that's the boss level. It has a really, really gnarly hard jump in it. You can skip the jump, which will take you to the next area. But if you want to be able to shortcut to the next area, you have to complete 3 of those jumps, over time, in permanence. And it remembers that. So you see here, it gives you stats on each track, and you can see as well, that number, I believe, is the number of other concurrent players that are in that area. And you see here, there's a danger zone. So this is one where you see it's super steep, more rep, but double health loss on bails. So in other words, I will get more points, but if I bail out, I lose 2 lives instead of 1. So let's try that. Also, it says here, I've never had that happen. It says, don't take too long to reach the boss track. You will run out of daylight. So basically, if you can't do an entire map if you want to grind stuff out. You've got to get to the boss within a certain amount of time. And it will reward bonuses for doing things like riding fast. Like if you get yourself up to the point where your speedometer's in the red, you'll get constant bonus for riding fast. But the thing is, if your speed is too high, and this is the problem I've always had with that boss jump, if your speed is too high in the air, you actually can't land cleanly without doing that. So that wasn't the case there. But if you're in the air and your speed gets up to the red level, you will wipe out when you land. So you have to actually be careful, because more speed gives you special points. But if you're going too fast at the wrong time, something like that will happen. Now that was me being greedy with the stunt as well. And you can see the challenge in this track is kind of cool. It's finished without letting go of the accelerator. Also, you saw there it says last stand. That means I'm on my last life. So if I don't want to end this run prematurely, I should probably not be cocky, but screw that. We're early on in the game, so... and you see there, like, we're doing really well on points here. So this was actually very much worth it. So there's a lot, this game also has a lot of achievements in it for grinding out, there are achievements for grinding out a certain amount of total rep. They're actually bugged right now, which really annoys me. The developer has said a patch is coming to fix that, but they will not say when. There are also achievements for unlocking a certain amount of gear in the store, things like that. So I passed it. And now you see I unlocked a crew member. So you get crew members by unlocking, you get crew members by grinding a certain amount of rep. And what a crew member is, it's kind of weird because it's not permanent. But you see here, each of these crew members gives you a different bonus. This is for the duration of your run. So you lose all these people after this run. So you see here, you can bail harder before losing multiple health at once. Increase the bunny hop force, which is bunny hop is how you load your jumps. Place more stunned objects on tracks. Scout further ahead into the world map. Okay, so it actually looks like I unlocked 2 crew members in that. Prevents storm and no path tracks. I haven't actually run into those yet. And then lowers the curvature of all. So let's try that. I really like this track. Also, there is the problem of, as well, of, you notice how when I came back that time, like when I first did the first race, there was a bunch of different concurrent players on maps, and then when I came back this time, all of a sudden they were all gone. That's been a common problem as well. I don't know if that's a bug or something else, but I've had a problem sometimes when I've been playing this, and it's like the matchmaking just stops. Like, it stops matching me with players. So I'll be honest with you, it feels like apparently this Xbox version was actually in the game preview program for quite a while, but I'll be honest with you, it seems, in addition to its performance problems, it seems frankly pretty buggy. Like, there's achievements that are bugged, there's the matchmaking issues there that I showed you. It's... Damn it. It does seem a little bit buggy, but the devs do seem to be supporting it. It seems to have, even though every achievement in this game is, even though the relatively easy to get ones are listed as low rarity, or rather high rarity, I guess, like very few people have unlocked them. I see a decent number of people playing this, so I'm not sure, to be honest with you. So that run ended there. So now you can do a quick restart, but I'm back at the beginning because, like I said, it's a roguelite. And I have to admit, I've been having a lot of fun with this, despite the technical, despite the bugs, despite the technical performance. I've been having a lot of fun with this because it's a game. I mean, I love score attack, right? And that's what this game is at the end of the day. And runs don't last very long. Well, at least not at this point. I've gotten to the second area once, and I wasn't able to clear the boss jump. It doesn't take that long to get there. So, if you're someone who gets very easily frustrated by roguelites, you know, by failing a run, you may not like this, because this game is very hard. Made harder, in my opinion, by the technical issues. You know, and things like that will happen, and you'll be like, oh, come on, I totally got that, you know? Things like that. But it's been, I've honestly been having a lot of fun with this. And Technomancer will know what I mean when I say this. I used to hate roguelites and roguelikes. I never liked the genre for the longest time, but then it kind of had a huge renaissance the last while. There's been 1,000,001 roguelikes, and a lot of developers have been making some very clever twists on the formula and doing like very, very neat and different things with the roguelite formula, to the point where I've actually come to quite like the genre. And every time I see something like this, I'm like, you know, I never thought they'd be able to make a roguelite bike racing game. Somehow they did it. It's really proof that you can make a roguelite out of almost anything if you put your mind to it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I've been enjoying this. This is a super indie title. It comes from a developer called Rage Squid, and it's actually published by No More Robots, which is a newer publisher, indie publisher that's been putting out some neat stuff. Hey, Rez. Yeah, No More Robots. You guys may remember a few weeks ago on Indie Showcase Saturday, we did that really trippy, like 90s internet simulator game. Whose name I can't remember right now. But that was put out by No More Robots. And they also, Hypnospace Outlaw, thank you, Rez. And they also put this out. So they've been putting out some pretty cool stuff. And, I've been having fun with this. And you know what? Even though the achievements are clearly still bugged to a point, I wonder if... Oh, that's right. Right. That game is Hypnospace Outlaw, the Resonant Virus story. That's right. It's really It's really biographical, not autobiographical. Despite the fact that the achievements are kind of bugged still, I actually wonder if they did put out a patch for this, because the load times in this are way quicker than they were the last couple of times I played it. Like, way quicker. Now, to be fair, my Xbox hard drive was at 97% capacity, and last night I deleted Quantum Break, which had the videos pre-downloaded, which freed up, I kid you not, 120 gigs on the hard drive, so maybe the Xbox One just gets really cranky when the hard drive is full. Because I feel like there hasn't been a patch on this game yet, because it's still, like, the achievements are still bugged and the frame rate is still kind of terrible. But, okay, what was the... So, you see here, this is a sponsor track, so you guys saw I talked about sponsors before. So, if you get to a sponsor track, you have to do 3 events for a sponsor before they will agree to sponsor you. I don't know what you actually get for that. So, I believe I've done 1 for Enemy, so I'd like to try to get 1 of them built up. And like I said, you can see there in the bottom right, it shows the track that's playing. This game actually has a really good indie drum and bass soundtrack. I like good sort of mellow drum and bass like this. So this challenge here gets 6 seconds of airtime. Relatively easy. So you see there how I got a little yellow thing on the speedometer and the guy started going, whoa! So yeah, that means that that's warning me. It's like, hey, you're going too fast. If you don't slow down or find a way to slow down, you're going to bail when you hit the ground. Because if you go too fast, your bike will just basically break when you hit the ground. But there we go. So we hit our 6 seconds of airtime. So if we finish this map, we're going to get ourselves another life bonus, which is a pretty good start. There we go. Ooh, we almost didn't make that one. Not enough speed here. I do find that it's much easier to do these front and back flip stunts if you're going doing the like 360 sideways stunts. Take a lot more of your speed out. So there we go. A scout from enemy from from team enemy noticed my run. Yeah, I saw that, Rez. That's an interesting idea. That's cool. Okay, this is a good one. Increased chance of landing on your bike when landing hard. So this is another one here as well. This is called the Medic Camp. This one you get a extra bonus health. You get a bonus health for just completing the run, and you get an extra bonus for doing the objective as well. But as you can see, it's a very hard map. And you see here what I said about the matchmaking. See in the bottom left there, it matched some people into that track for some reason. So yeah. Finished within 45 seconds. So this is a relatively mellow track here, so. Not yet, no. I barely looked at Discord since I got home, but I'll be doing that tonight because I have a Discord call tonight, actually. So I will do that then. I might actually stop since the Antstream thing kind of went south. I'm gonna play this for a little while, and then I think I'm actually gonna go for a walk before I do my call with the other person. I think I'm gonna cut it a little early tonight. I want to get back into going for walks again because I got lazy and stopped doing that now that I don't have Riley for a little bit. And I need to get back into that. And I think the rain stopped, so there we go. We're actually doing really well on the health front here. So in this one here is called a fire node. So this is just a really brutal track. You see it's full everything. But then the boss track is after this. I would love to be able to get one of the boss jumps, but as yet I have not managed to pull it off. They're really tough. So yeah, get a top speed of 65. Oh, also, you can change the camera in this, including a almost nausea-inducing helmet cam. There are tracks where it makes you play with your helmet cam. So like this, which is bloody cruel and unusual. I probably shouldn't be cocky on this track because it is a fire node, but whatever. YOLO, I got 7 life bonuses here, so. Hey Rez, or maybe, you know, at one point Discord will add their most requested feature by far and allow people to put in folders for Discord, so it's easy to be in 90 Discords at once. I believe that is by far their most requested feature, and they refuse to even acknowledge it, much less implement it. I don't know why. They must have a reason, but because it wouldn't be hard to implement. Oh shoot, I missed that. Whoa, I didn't mean to jump there. So you see what's cool is that you can go off the track, and even though it doesn't reward you well in terms of points and things like that, like if you get to a jump where you're like, you know what, I just can't do that, you can just say nope and drive around it, which is cool. So it's not like a lot of traditional games where it will make you do something you're not prepared for. But the thing that I will say, the thing that can be frustrating about this game, much like it could be in Tony Hawk games or things like that, is, for example, you saw that last bailout that I made, or that one, where it really, really looks like I landed legitimately, and it says I bailed. That happens a lot. So if you're one of those people who gets easily frustrated, again, by games like this, where it looks like you landed legit, and it says you didn't, and you're like, come on, I totally got that. Yeah, this game will probably frustrate you to a pretty significant degree. Again. But the thing that I like is runs don't really take that long, Sure, if I was in like the final environment, I'd probably get really annoyed about that happening, right? But like in a place like this, I don't really care that much. And I bailed again. So I doubt that's gonna happen, to be honest, Rez. Discord has stated, though I don't know how much they mean it, but they have stated that they have currently no desire to sell the company. That they want to stay independent. That said, they have venture capital funding, and venture capitalists want to get paid. So I don't think they're going to allow be able to do that indefinitely, but... Overtone needs to get their development stepped up, though. They're getting very... Their development is slowed to a crawl. Hey, Official Master, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Paratroopers. Hope you're having a good night. Welcome, welcome. I was, this was not the planned game for this evening. I was supposed to be showcasing the Antstream retro gaming service, but unfortunately, the first day of their beta was very beta, and it, it broke. So I'm doing a on-the-spot indie showcase of Descenders, which is a roguelite. Okay, so here's the boss jump. Which, yeah, Descenders is a roguelite bicycle racing game. I totally went through that. And it's currently on Steam and on Xbox. Well, so it wasn't supposed to be, Rez. I'm recording this to do as an impromptu one, because this was a game I wanted to do an indie showcase on. And then... Well, that didn't work out! Oh, well. But Antstream unfortunately broke. It's the first day of their beta. I was able to play it for about half an hour, and then basically their cloud blew up. So this Official Master is, if you're on Xbox, it's actually on Game Pass. But if you are not, or you don't have Game Pass, let me find out for you. No. It's only on Steam on PC right now. So it's more expensive than I thought, actually. It's 25 bucks US, or 28 bucks Canadian. I think it's the same on Xbox, but like I said, on Xbox it is on Game Pass. It is a little expensive, I have to admit, especially for the Xbox version, but because the Xbox version, so I'm playing on an Xbox One X at 1080p, not 4K, and as you can see, it doesn't perform incredible. It's got pretty long load times, and the frame rate caps at 30 and frequently drops below that. The controls are responsive. But if you were able to play this at 60, it would definitely be a lot better. I really hope they get some optimization in this. Also, this version, the Xbox version, is buggy. Some of the achievements are bugged. Like some of the achievements don't unlock correctly. They are aware of that, and apparently an update is coming. I grabbed this because I follow the Get Indie Gaming YouTube channel, which if you're someone who's into indie games, you really should be following that channel. That guy does a great job of surfacing games that you might have otherwise missed. And he was at... Oh, geez. Ow. And he was actually the guy who pointed this out, and he mentioned that it was coming to Game Pass, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just go grab it then. And despite the technical issues... and the fact that it's a hard bastard of a game, I've been having a lot of fun with this. Like, this game is proof that truly, if you've got some talented designers, you can make a roguelite out of anything. Because, like, who would have thought they could make a roguelite out of, like, downhill bicycle racing? What do you mean not reviewed? Well, no, lots of indie games get reviews. Indie games means games not put out by a large publisher, is generally what they mean. Games that are made by independent developers. So, I don't really do reviews either. This is this little indie showcase thing I do is I just call it first impressions because I don't finish the game and I kind of give my critiques live as I go. But yeah, I've actually been having a lot of fun with this. I might actually, the PC version, I have to say 25 US that's a bit steep. But I might look into it at some point on there. But if you have Game Pass, I absolutely recommend like just downloading this and giving it a try. I mean, if you have Game Pass, it literally costs you nothing. Yeah, I have to say, Rez, like Game Pass, if you can get your hands on an Xbox, Game Pass, between the new releases that come out on it and the massive back catalog of backwards compatible stuff, and I am not sponsored by Microsoft in any way, but Game Pass I actually think is a legit really good value. If you're cool with playing 360 games and a lot of, you know, newer Microsoft releases, there is an insane amount of good games in there, and it's not all junk games either. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Official Master. I think Discord is smarter than that. I think they know what would happen if they tried to do that. I would like to think they'd be smarter than that. I also don't think that's really a business Epic wants to be in either. Damn it! I'm not doing well tonight here on this one. Yeah, I know. There's been rumors going for a while, and who knows, maybe they'll talk about this at E3. There's been rumors going for a while that Microsoft was going to be unveiling a way to play a lot of like the 360 games on PC that are on Game Pass. Either by spinning up a VM or by cloud streaming. Which would be incredible. Suddenly Game Pass becomes way more valuable. If you could have access to that back catalog thing on PC, that would be incredible. Well, it wouldn't though, right? Because the thing is, like, the way backwards compatibility works on the Xbox One is it literally just spins up a 360 in a virtual machine. Even a low-end, I mean, you got to remember, the 360 came out in 2005, so even a low-end PC by today's standards can run circles around a 360. So they could probably, honestly, brute force most of a 360 in software. It wouldn't surprise me. Well, yeah, that too. But I bet they could make it. Now, how did I survive that? I'll take it, but I should not have survived that. They could totally... You could totally just brute force a 360 with... Oh, it can be, dude. So, the thing is with this, right, is because it's a roguelite, it's basically a one-and-done game, right? So when you fail out of a run, you have to start over. But what happens is, so I'll show you what this does. So when you complete a map like this, right... This is the map. So this is the first area. So what I have to do is by picking different nodes, I have to make my way to where that skull thing is. And then that's the boss map. Then when I complete that, you can go on to the next area. And there's 2 areas after that. And then there's also a New Game Plus mode after that. If you complete what they call the boss jump in the final area 3 times, you can skip ahead and start in one of the later areas. But I haven't managed to complete the boss jump once. It is hard. But the neat thing about this is, so this is the career mode, right? But there's like a free ride mode. There's an open mode where you can just join up with a party of random people and just screw around in the map. There's a daily challenge mode. Like, there's a lot more to it than just this career mode. Yeah, I'll show you. There's a mode where you can, like, it will spin up a randomly generated map that you can just join with friends or randoms. And there's like a sort of a practice area in the beginning where it has all the various different kinds of stunts in that you'll run into, where you're just matched in with a bunch of random people and you can just drive around. There's no collision, so the other riders that you run into, you go through each other. So, like, people can't troll you by running into you and stuff like that. These castle things are those castle things are a nightmare. I've never managed to really get through one of them easily. I do wish the soundtrack had a few more music tracks in it, but the drum and bass tracks in this are quite good as a drum and bass fan. And it's a good style of music for a game like this. It's very energized and sort of really keeps you amped up as you're doing it. It depends on the game, Rez. Some cards actually sell for a lot more than that. Me too. Hospital Records Radio, man. That gets about 80% of my radio station play in Forza. Hospital Records puts out some of the best D&B stuff out there. I listen to drum and bass in the car a lot. It's like the real car. It's a very good... yes, Bass Arena's not bad either. There we go. So yeah, you see here, much like the Tony Hawk games official master, you get points by doing various things, and you can string together combos in that. So like the Tony Hawk games, this has modifiers. So when you take a jump like that, you can either jump it clean and be safer but get less score, or you can hold down a modifier key and do stunts in midair, which will give you a lot more points. But if you screw it up, you lose a life when you hit the ground, like that. So oh, I totally made that one. Yeah, failure. So we'll go take a look at the free roam mode here. So, and you see I'm unlocking new items. You unlock cosmetic items by playing, by just playing. So, so you see here, this is the open practice area. So you see there's people in this map. So this is a map that kind of has a representation of all the different types of stunts that you'll run into across the game. And you can build up combos here, but you don't get to keep the, like, you don't, this doesn't add to your permanent rep score. Oh, geez, would you look at this? We got a beach ball going. Thank you, Rez. Much appreciated. So you see, you can just drive around here, and I think that is the first beach ball I've ever gotten, which is pretty awesome. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. So you see here, you can just sort of drive around and get and practice stuff, and there's other players here, but again, you can't hit each other. But what you can do as well. So you see, yeah, the sponsor office. Oh, it was Kinetic who I did a thing for. So there's sponsorships you can earn in this. I don't know what you get for that, but you can see there's rides. So there's free ride. Also, yeah, there's build a free riding track. So you can apparently, yeah. So it says build the track, but by build it really just means pick your items. But you can have it build the track for you to just screw around on if you want to practice. And you can also add in crew members that you've unlocked. So in missions, you unlock what are called crew members, which are things that you get throughout your run. They're basically additional little attributes that you get. And any of the ones you've unlocked, you can also attach to a custom track you built. So the tracks in this are randomly generated. So what you do is you specify the parameters of the track, and it builds something for you that matches up more or less with what you've asked for. And now I'm going to guess I don't get to earn any permanent rep from this either. I would be really surprised if I did, because I would feel like you could just easily build like the easiest track in the world and, you know, farm that if you wanted. But we'll see. Actually, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. The thing is, though, maybe you do earn it, because the thing is, too, is if you build simple tracks, you're not going to earn as much rep, because you need tracks with that are curvy and have stunts in them in order for you to be able to earn a significant amount of rep. So, maybe not. Oh, geez. That's interesting. But yeah, and then there's the, I'll show you here, there's the social mode. Oh no, rep gain 552. Okay, so I did get rep from it. That's cool. I don't know what bonus track is. Oh, complete the objective in a bonus level to unlock it in free ride mode. And then you can have it build track from a seed as well. And then, yeah, casual lobby. So you see here, people just make random lobbies. And you can just join up. You can also watch it as a spectator, which is kind of cool. Looks like, oh, the guy who started it bailed, so, okay. So let's find another one. Here, that's a start. Oh, started sessions. Oh, interesting, okay. So I can join a session in progress, so let's try that. In queue, but it said 3 of 4. Okay. That's nice, though. When you're in the queue, it doesn't make you just sit at a menu. It makes you can actually come back to the practice area and screw around, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, the UI is definitely basic, Rez, I will say that. Like, the game mechanically is really, really cool. And I really like some of the areas they have together where, like, yeah, it's mechanically cool and, like, the social elements and stuff all seen there. But the game, the UI isn't great. The game in general kind of looks fairly basic, to be honest. And, like I said, at least on the Xbox, it runs really bad for how well it looks. Like, a Plague Tale runs better than this and looks way better, too. So, you know, it definitely needs some work on that front. I'm not sure why I was in the queue for a game that was not full, but... I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. For me personally, I don't think it looks... I don't think it really looks incredible, especially for how it runs. I think this game... I think when... You know, I think it should run a lot better than it does for how it looks. I don't think it looks bad. Like, the visual style of this game doesn't put me off of it at all. But I do think it's a little... I do think, and especially I don't think it should run this poorly, especially on an Xbox One X. But that is as much a Unity problem as an anything else problem, I think. So I don't know what's going on here. For these lobbies that have already started, it says I'm in queue, but it doesn't seem to be... Which is weird, because the lobby's not full. Maybe I have to wait till their current race is over? This is Unity. It is Unity. Which explains why it doesn't run very well on the console, because Unity is a not well optimized engine, and most devs who use it don't know how to tune it. So this game is a little buggy too. A lot of the achievements don't work right now, and I've had it freeze up once and do some other things. The devs said they're working on that. I don't know when the patch is coming though. The load times seem better than they were, which is nice. Let's see what the daily challenge is. So the daily challenge is basically a run, but it's a run on a specific seed, so everybody runs the same tracks. And obviously it's a one, you know, it runs for a day, and I think you can do the daily. Well, no, it says make this single session. Yeah, they run for 24 hours. I don't know if you can play them more than once. I think you can play them as much as you want in 24 hours, and it gives you your, it just counts your best score towards the leaderboards. Friggin' castles. I think that's what it does. Okay, I'll take that. I never get those side spins right. I always get my angle all screwed up. There we go. I'm gonna stop being too cocky here and see how far I can get in this. I mean, every single roguelike out there that has a daily challenge mode, there's always someone who plays them every day who is like insanely good at the game, so it's not like I'm ever gonna hit top of leaderboard. But yeah, Were Tiger, the retro cloud done broke. So this is a game I wanted to do on Indie Showcase anyway, called Descenders. It is a Tony Hawk style downhill racing game, downhill bike racing game that's also a roguelite and has like persistent multiplayer to it. It's really cool. But this is the Xbox version because it's on Game Pass, and the Xbox version kind of runs like poo. I can still play it. It's still a fun game, though it's very hard and kind of mean sometimes. But the, yeah, the Xbox version needs some work. It is on PC as well, but it's a little expensive. But it is pretty good fun, though. But it is a roguelike and is, in many cases, tough as nails. Damn it, I always get those wrong. But yeah, the devs can polish it up. If the devs can polish up the performance and the achievements and stuff on the Xbox. Oh, speaking of achievements, okay, that one worked. Oh, that's the complete 10 mini boss challenges. Oh, nice. But it is definitely fun still. I've been having a good time with it. Yeah, I don't know what the PC version's requirements are like, but I will say that Unity games, which this is, tend to not run well on the Xbox. So, Unity games that will often run well on even not incredible PCs will often not run well on the Xbox. So, but that said, this game's also $25 US, which, like it though I do, does seem a little steep for what it is. Get a top speed of 65k. That's danger zone in this game. Yes, it was. Don't get me wrong, Rez. There are people who are able to make who can make Unity do incredible things. They just don't seem to be that common. Yeah, Layers of Fear 2 just came out. It is going to be. I would actually like to play it sooner because I really liked it, but it's going to be a stretch goal for this year. So I'm not going to play it right now. It's going to be a stretch goal. You know what's weird too is Layers of Fear was Unity, but Observer, their next game, was Unreal. And I think Layers of Fear 2 might have gone back to Unity. I'm not sure. It's strange. They made like one game in each of the major engines. It's kind of odd. So I don't know if it's that maybe they were just experimenting, but Observer was so good. I really liked that game. As someone who doesn't like horror games, Observer was choice. And actually, Layers of Fear was really good too. I still have to make my highlight reel from that. Add that to my unending to-do list. Yeah? So I will say this, Novelist. I respect horror games. Especially the well-made ones. Absolutely. I am just a complete friggin' weak sauce. Don't get me wrong. My thing with horror games is a failure on my part. Not the genres. That's why I need to get that highlight reel done, Rez. Because that... I still giggle thinking back to that. Nope, I overdid it with that. Oh, nice! GG, Novelist. There we go, clean landing. Nope! Screwed that up again. Yes, they did. Layers of Fear 2 is published by Gun, which is the company that put out Friday the 13th instead of Aspire. Apparently, Layers of Fear 2, because a bunch of people got early access, like pre-release codes to stream it, a bunch of partners. It's apparently really good. Like, people say it's notably better than the first one, even people who like the first one. So, that's a good sign. Yeah, Bloober Team, they know their stuff. There's no way they could make a sequel to Observer without making it a different story, but I hope they do. Because, Observer was fan-friggin-tastic. So, Novelist, you should check out my Extra Life page, because every year I have horror game stretch goals for my Extra Life fundraising. I have 6 left for last year. Well, I can think of a number of games for this year but coming up soon, yeah, I'm not sure. Dude, Dying Light 2. We are co-oping that end to end. Yes, Rez, that's going to be the last batch of horror games that I play is Five Nights at Freddy's. But the next one I'm going to do, if you go to my Extra Life page, I actually have listed out there the games I have left to play. The first one I'm going to be playing is an indie sci-fi horror game called The Subject. No, Novelist, for goals that I hit last year. I smashed all of my fundraising targets last year because of a number of amazing people, and also because WereTiger kept getting me to milestones in order to make me play horror games because he hates me. I don't have easy access to VR, Res, so probably not. I mean, I guess I could borrow my buddy's Oculus, but that would be a new stretch goal. I'm not adding anything more for last year. So we've already done either 2 or 3 of the stretch goals for last year, and I have literally 6 more, but those are games I still have to do just to fulfill last year's obligations. There will be new goals for this year. I already have 2 of them picked out. So... my buddy does have a Rift, though, so I could potentially borrow that. But, assuming it's going to support the Rift. No, I have it, Rez. I have 2 or 3 Five Nights at Freddy's that I don't own yet, but I think Were Tiger gifted me the first 2. So... yeah, Where, don't remind me. I requested code for that. You know, I still haven't played their first game yet, which I backed on Kickstarter, which is funny because The Longest Journey, the original The Longest Journey, is one of my favorite story games of all time. And I haven't friggin' played, Dreamfall Chapters yet. Yeah. So, yeah, I did, for sure. I think I backed it at a high level. And I remember being very upset because I backed it for a physical box version, and the physical box I got for it was a joke. I remember being rather annoyed about that. Alright, guys, well, there we go. So that was sort of the emergency pivot, indie pivot for the evening. Emergency indie showcase, if you will. So that is Descenders. It's developed by Rage Squid and published by No More Robots. It's $25 US on PC, on Steam, and on Xbox, or it is on Game Pass. The Xbox version, honestly, I can't recommend it full price, not with the performance and bug issues that it currently has, but if you have Game Pass, absolutely recommend giving it a try. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it is a lot of fun, and hey, they made a roguelite downhill bike racing game. But that said, I do think the asking price for what's in it of $25 US is a little bit steep, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, so I'll put this up on YouTube in the next couple of days because we did that. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you are watching on YouTube, please do the needful, you know, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Helps get these things noticed by more and more people. And thanks to those of you who stuck around for this emergency indie showcase tonight. I will try to stream Antstream again soon, once they hopefully get a little bit more capacity added to their cloud. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, on YouTube, and there will be more indie showcases in the not too distant future. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you later, guys. Take it easy.